Hey guys, welcome back to markdillon.com, or if you're watching this on YouTube, that's greatly appreciated as well. So I have come to the realization that either I'm buying shirts that are too small or my arms are growing. As you can see, there's not a lot of room left in there, which is very pleasing to me. I love seeing progress. Otherwise, what's the point of spending so much time in the gym, other than the fact that maybe I happen to enjoy it? But the arms are growing. I've added probably a good quarter of an inch to them, which is not too shabby. You know, every time I brag about myself, I hear my grandpa's voice in the back of my head, and he used to say something to the effect of, "Don't be so cocky. A pat on the back is only a foot above a kick in the ass," or something like that. I don't know if that's verbatim. As you can tell, it obviously went in one ear and out the other. But anywho, let's get to tonight's question from Samuel. He says, "Hi Mark, I've been watching you for about a month, and your videos are really insightful. Have you ever had to deal with a jealous friend? I've had a lot of success in my career over the past year, and one of my friends is always making passive-aggressive comments when I suggest dinner or hanging out. At this point, I won't discuss work because I know he will say something rude or condescending. Would you stay friends with someone like this?" Hmm. All right, Samuel. Well, first of all, I think anybody who's been alive for more than 10 minutes has experienced and dealt with somebody else's jealousy. You know, it's so interesting that out of the seven deadly sins, the only one you won't really have fun with is envy. I mean, it's true. It is give me lustfulness, give me gluttony, give me any of that, but just jealousy is the worst one. And sadly, it's extremely prevalent and rampant throughout the world. And I don't understand it. You know, life will give you so many wonderful things that you can enjoy if you just look for them and appreciate them, instead of turning your attention towards what somebody else has or what they have that you want and you can't have. Just focus on the things that life gives you. Enjoy them, appreciate them. Anyhow, um, let me get to your question. So, yes, I've had to deal with a jealous friend. Now, before I address your supposedly jealous friend, let me just bring something to your attention. And you may or may not have thought about this. Just make sure you step back and objectively ask yourself if you may be coming off as being a little bit arrogant or bragging too much about your newfound success. Or you may not mean to come off as arrogant or being a braggart, but you know, ask yourself if your friend could be perceiving it that way. Do you have to tell him every single good thing that happens to you at work, every raise you get, every bonus, big deal you land, whatever it is you do? Now, so you want to make sure that you're not contributing to that. You know, very few of us can there's just not, you can't tell everybody everything. You don't have to be overly generous with everybody in your life about all the good things or all the bad things. There's usually a very few people that you can tell all of the really good things that happen to you. Usually it's your parents or a sibling or maybe your best friend. But other than that, just be judicious in who you tell and what you tell. Because you don't want to make it sound like, ha ha, look at me, I have great things going on, what's going on with you? And you may not mean it that way, but it could be perceived that way. So, let's just, oh, one more thing. So you mentioned he will make passive aggressive comments when you ask him to go out for dinner or to go hang out. Well, first of all, you want to make sure that you're not asking him out too frequently because maybe he's not in his financial position is not the same as yours and he can't afford to go out to dinner two or three times a night or whatever it is. Maybe he can't. Maybe the places you're suggesting don't fit within his budget. And you can only invite people to those kind of things so many times before they get really annoyed with that. So I think, you know, if that's the case, you can either say, "Hey, by the way, I just thought about you. Would you like to go out to dinner? It's my treat. There's this great new place I tried. I'd love to bring you there." Or you can just simply say, "Hey, you remember that place we used to go to? How about we go there for dinner Friday night?" Something like that. Just make sure that what you're suggesting doesn't make him feel inadequate by having to say, no, I can't do that. So just some food for thought. Now, let's get to your friend. Let's assume that he is somebody who's just very jealous. He's one of these people that hasn't figured out how to create happiness in his own life, so he doesn't like to see it in other people's life. He likes to rain on your parade. Then yes, I would say probably it's not worth staying friends with somebody like that, because there's very little you can do to change somebody's outlook when they're like that. There are always people out there, some of the most hateful, most mean-spirited people have, they're the ones with nothing going on in their life. They're very jealous and envious of other people's success. They also have, I think deep down, have a sense of regret about their lack of success in life. They may perceive themselves as being very intelligent and very talented, and they just can't figure out why life hasn't rewarded their greatness with what it is they wanted out of life. So then they try to rain on everybody else's parade. In this day and age, you see it online, especially how many hateful people there are online. They have nothing better to do but sit around and badmouth somebody else, and you'll find them in life, in your own life as well as online. So listen, you can't control who's going to come along and try to rain on your parade. You can make the decision to carry an umbrella, meaning your outlook and your attitude. I have zero tolerance for anybody who's a net negative in my life. I only want people who want good things for me, who enjoy seeing me do well, and vice versa. I want to be a positive in somebody else's life. I want to be thrilled when something good happens to my friends. I want to be thrilled when something good happens to my family. I never want to be that person that has that sense of, oh, he doesn't deserve it. Why did this happen to him or this happen to her? So, you have to make an effort to remove toxic people from your life, because they bring you no benefit whatsoever. So, if your friend is one of these people, yeah, I wouldn't have a big blow up about it. I wouldn't fight about it or argue about it, but just make the effort to stop hanging out with him. You don't have to sit down and have this big heart to heart. I would just, until his attitude starts to change, not hang out with him. Don't talk to him. Don't visit with him. There's absolutely no reason to keep yourself in relationships that are harmful. End of story. You're responsible for protecting your own happiness, to the extent that it doesn't hurt anybody else. I've said that many times, that you're responsible for protecting your own happiness, but that's not a license to go through life doing whatever you want with no regard for other people, as I discussed in my last cheating video. So Samuel, there you go. First, make sure you're not coming off as being too braggadocious to your friend. But if that's not the case, and he's just a jealous, hateful person, stop hanging out with him. And again, don't make it into this big kind of argument, because I found that those kind of people love things like that. It gives them this crazy sense of validation when they're involved in a feud or an argument with somebody. With me, if somebody has negative feelings towards me, or they don't like me, or they don't want to see me do well, there you go. Goodbye. Have a good one. I'm not going to argue with you. I'm not going to feud with you. I'm not going to feed into your crazy cycle of dysfunction and negativity. And Samuel, I advise you to do the same thing. So I hope this helps. Guys, thanks again for tuning in to markdillon.com or to my YouTube channel. Have a good night.